Hi guys, welcome back to Vedic Astrology. Today we are going to be talking about the October monthly reading. And in this video we are going to talk about some of the key dates which will be, depicting the transits of the planets into your respective signs and houses. And based on that we are going to analyze as to what sort of an impact you are going to see through the course of this month. So without further ado, let's quickly jump into the key dates that are going to come into play. Now, guys, as you can see on your screen here, Sun is going to be in the sign of Virgo until October 16th. And from October 17th onwards, it is going to be coming into its sign of debilitation in Libra. Mercury is already in the sign of Libra from October 2nd onwards, and it will move into the sign of Scorpio from October 24th onwards. So it's going to see, a dual shift in this month. Then you have Venus, which is sitting in the sign of Leo until October 8th. And then from October 9th onwards, it will also move into its sign of debilitation in the sign of Virgo. Mars is in Libra until October 26th. And from October 27th onwards, Mars will be moving into its own sign of Scorpio. So that's a great movement which is coming into play for you guys. Then you have Jupiter in the sign of Gemini until October 17th. And then comes the big change where Jupiter moves into its sign of exaltation from October 18th onwards. So you see, Sun is coming into its debilitation, Venus is coming into its debilitation, Mars, on the other hand, is coming to its own sign whilst Jupiter is coming into exaltation. So, pretty important movements as we can see through the course of this month, with Saturn continuing in the sign of Pisces. But it's important to know that in its retrograde motion, it is now going to be moving into the Purv Bhadrapada Nakshatra in the sign of Pisces itself. Then you have Rahu in Purv Bhadrapada Nakshatra. Again, both Rahu and Saturn happen to be in the same nakshatra. It is ruled by Jupiter. And this is going to be interesting because Saturn's retrograde movement is bringing it much closer to Rahu at this point in time through the course of this month, whilst Ketu continues in its Purva Falguni Nakshatra, that of Venus itself in the sign of Leo. So Geminis, as you guys can see on your screen here, you have Jupiter placed in your first house, and he is going to be making one of the most important transits of the year for you guys, where he will move into your second house. We'll come and talk more about that. But let's get started with your Lagna Lord, which is Mercury. He is placed in the first couple of days in its sign of exaltation in your fourth house, where he is, in conjunction with Sun, who's your third house lord. But the important bit to note is that in the first week itself, Mercury is going to be coming and forming a conjunction with Mars in your fifth house. Now your Lagna Lord is going to be coming into the fifth house, which is indicating that you are going to be oozing out a lot of creativity, lot of creative juices are going to be helping you to do things differently. This is also going to be a period that is going to help you in your romantic pursuits. People who are single, people who are looking forward to forge new relationships, it's going to be a positive period from that perspective. However, there could be certain unexpected situations, turbulences, especially with respect to argumentative scenarios coming into play thanks to its conjunction with Mars, which is your sixth lord as well. We'll talk more about that, but you have to understand not only Mercury is your Lagna Lord, he's also your fourth lord. So first and fourth lord coming into the fifth, this is going to be a period where you are going to build upon your assets. You are going to be working in that direction. And both of these planets will be giving an aspect to your 11th house, your house of wishful gains, desires, goals, objectives, targets. So it's a pretty good movement coming into picture for you folks, Geminis, because it gives you the ability to materialize on the areas that you've been working on from the past few weeks and months. The other bit to note here is that this is also going to be very helpful for people who are, planning for childbirth, have been looking forward to take some action on that front, or bonding with your children, your kids, for that matter. Students who are watching this video, absolutely good time for you to leverage your knowledge and translate that into application of your understanding, because fourth house is your assets, and here knowledge can also be seen as an asset for you. So keep ideating on that front. Now, whilst we've talked about Mercury's presence into the fifth house, you have to remember from 24th of October, as I was saying a few minutes back, he will be transiting into your sixth house. But before that, you have to look into your 11th Lord and your sixth Lord, which is Mars, and he's placed in the sign of Libra in your fifth house itself, and he will be forging that connection with Mercury in the fifth house. So the sixth Lord is 12th to itself. It is almost like the obstacles are going to go away. The challenges, problems, difficulties that you've been facing, they are going to go away. And Mars is also giving an aspect to his own sign, to his own house. So that is a very good bit. Geminis, there would be several areas where you would want to take certain initiatives, certain action from your front, and you will realize that this, whilst at one side of the spectrum, you are going to have an obvious loss of your enemies. Remember, Mars is giving an aspect to your 12th house as well. So he's the sixth lord, giving an aspect to your 11th and 12th, plus giving an exalted aspect to your 8th house. So sudden unexpected gains coming your way. Some things that you might have not even planned, not even anticipated, might work out for you from during the course of this month, all the way up till 26th of October, where Mars becomes remains in your Libra sign. Now the conjunction of this is crucial because your Lagna Lord or fourth Lord is conjunct with sixth and 11th Lord. So 11th is sixth to sixth. So it is a, in a way, a higher degree of problems as well. And those problems can arise due to sheer, difficulties in how you are articulating, expressing your communication, your thought process. So this is where I would want you to be extremely careful. But the positive bit is that both of these planets, though they are not in a friendly relationship, they are collectively giving an aspect to the 11th. So a lot of plans that you've set forth for yourself, you will be able to furnish them with your own hard work, with your own intellect, creative thinking, and planning. Now, Mars, as I said, is giving an exalted aspect into your 8th house until 26th of October, whilst he remains in the 5th. That's a good bit coming into picture because, there is going to be a certain degree of transformation, deep transformation, learning towards the occult, research of some sorts that is going to come into picture for you, and that is going to benefit you as well. Unexpected benefits are anticipated for Gemini in the month of October. This is much more better situation than what we had seen from the September reading, and I was not very pleased and excited about that reading as well. But thanks to the two difficult eclipses coming into picture, and some of that impact you will continue to see through the course of this month as well. But please remain watchful on those grounds. Now, coming back to your third house, where Venus, who's the lord of your fifth, and all this conjunction is happening in your fifth house itself. So your fifth lord and your 12th lord is Venus, which is placed in conjunction with Ketu in your third house in the sign of Leo. Now, this is not one of the most brilliant situations to be in. Venus is 11 places away from itself and 4 places away from itself, respectively. But Venus's combination, first of all, Venus's presence in the third house itself is challenging, and then coming in conjunction with Ketu is not at all going to be easy. This is where you would have struggled with respect to your communication, with your formal setup. Sometimes you would have felt very tired and giving up as well through the course of September, and that might even continue till 8th, 9th of October. But then Venus is going to be making a shift into its sign of debilitation and will be coming into a Parivartan yoga from the third week or last week of October, when Mercury is moving into the sign of Libra. Now, when Ketu and Venus are in conjunction, they are going to be giving an aspect to your ninth house. Rahu is also present there. A lot of you would have celebrated Navratri or different, forms in which you would have represented your inclination towards religion, towards spirituality, towards leadership, bosses, elders in your family. So that is going to be magnified in the first week of October as well. Tons of festivals coming into the month of October. So that is going to be playing its role. But the important bit is that Rahu's aspect to your Lagna, to your third and to your fifth, is going to bring that magnanimous thought process in you. You would want to think big through the course of this period, whilst Ketu is giving an aspect to your, seventh, and naturally the lord of seventh from a Kalpurush perspective is Venus. So there would have been certain challenges in your relationships, in your partnerships, in your connection, both at a formal and at a personal level as well. So I would, recommend you to continue to be, vigilant on that particular aspect. And yes, Ketu's aspect is coming into your 11th house as well. So somewhere or the other, he is continuously calling out that disassociate yourself with the outcomes, disassociate yourself with the material aspect of things. And it is not easy when I was giving an aspect to your Lagna, but disassociate to find those gains coming in your life. But as I touched upon the Mercury and Mars aspect there, things are going to be still okay for you. Then Venus comes into its sign of debilitation and he becomes conjunct with Sun there. Sun is going to be remaining into the fourth house for you guys for the first 16 days of the month. And from 17th of October, he will be coming into its sign of debilitation, into the sign of Venus. Now, Venus and Sun's presence here, not an ideal situation to be in. There will still be, a lot of dramatic interest in your life to acquire something big, to expand on your assets. But the great part is that Venus is going to be giving an exalted aspect towards your 10th house. So this is going to be a period through the course of 8th October onwards, 9th October onwards, where your karma, your profession, your career can see a positive uptick. You have to remember, though, that Saturn remains in its deepest retrogression, because bang opposite to us, it is Sun at this point in time. And I had called this out in September month as well. So until October mid, and even, I would say consider it till the last part of October, when that deepest retrogression of Saturn is there, and he being your eighth and ninth lord in the retrograde motion in 10th is not going to be making things simple from your career, work, profession perspective as well. So there is respite coming with the transit of Jupiter. We'll talk about that in a bit, but this is going to be crucial because now you are going to be in an element to think as to what you can do better. Now, Venus is also the lord of your 12th house. So he's the lord of your expenses, foreign placement, enlightenment, and coming into debilitation in your fourth house. So there is going to be some degree of concern, difficulties, lack of peace, but at the same time, you will continue to fight that as well. I will not say it is going to be representing any kind of depression kind of tendencies, but then you will have some level of uneasiness, Geminis, that will still percolate, especially if you are watching this from a Gemini moon sign perspective. So I would want you to keep that in mind. Now, Sun continues in the fourth house, not one of the best placement, but he's second to itself. He will still push you towards continue to make your efforts. There will be some effort required from a family front, a home front perspective as well. A lot of things would have to be put in order at your home, maybe some repair work, construction, checkpoint, etc., could be required in your house, in your apartment during the course. You could be making certain changes in your furniture or trying to upgrade it, but you might still not be dissatisfied. I will recommend don't go for unnecessary expenses unless and until they are a necessity. Okay. Then comes the second half of the month where Sun transits into your fifth house. Now, fifth house is the natural ownership of Sun, but he is coming into its sign of debilitation where he will become conjunct with Mercury until 24th of October and Mars until 26th of October. Now, this is crucial because you will realize that Sun is coming into its sign of debilitation. There could be certain challenges that you might face, or argumentative situations that you can face in your relationships, in your bonding. But at the same time, I think you will not leave any stone unturned. You will put in the right, genuine efforts required to fix things, to make things happen with your partner. This could also be critical for you to note that your kids, your children might face certain obstacles. But on the other side of the spectrum, if you are a student, if you are watching this from your own education, learning standpoint, you are going to have a good period in terms of putting in more efforts. There could be tad bit lack of focus, but don't worry. Sun will get a niche bhanga as well because he is sitting with Mars. That is where he gets exalted in the sign of Aries. So he is getting a niche bhanga as well. And then there is a Parivartan Yoga that will come in the last week of the month of October. So things are going to ease out week over week as you progress over the month. So October is giving a lot of positive light for that matter, Geminis, if you notice. Then the aspect of this debilitated Sun is also exalted into your 11th house. So keep working. Even then, even when you feel that things are not working out, there is a degree of demotivation, disbelief coming in you. Be consistent with your efforts. Your hard work with the third lord in the fifth house, giving an exalted aspect to the 11th, is giving a promise that there could be a lot of transformation, reform, growth that you might achieve by the time October comes to an end. So do not drop the ball, be consistent with your effort, and you will see the outcome. Now you have to also note here that as we move further, the two planetary combination of Mercury and Mars in the last week on 24th, 25th, and then 27th of October will be coming into the sign of Scorpio in your sixth house itself. This is going to be an excellent period for people who are looking for a job shift, who are looking for new job opportunities. So I was telling you that whilst you will feel that things are not panning out, last week of October is something that where the aspect of sun is going to be exalted in your 11th house, and then Mercury and Mars are going to be putting you in that dynamic rhythm. Day in, day out, you will be putting in that effort, that grind, address opportunities. People who've lost job, who are struggling in their current jobs as well, thanks to Saturn's retrograde and difficult position being the eighth lord in your 10th house. You are going to find that there is going to be some benevolent impact that is going to come into play. The other bit that you have to notice that both of these planets will be giving an aspect into the sign of Taurus in your 12th house. So there could be some unexpected turbulence which you might automatically avoid. And Mercury's presence in your sixth house is going to be especially fruitful from that front. See, Mercury is the natural lord of the sixth house as well. So you have to connect the dots from that perspective too. He is going six places and three places away. So effort will be required, hard work will be required. There will be obstacles, there will be challenges that will come your way, but you will overcome them as well. If you've been looking to fight against certain litigations, if you've been looking forward to overcome any kind of loans, you will be able to successfully overcome those problems as well. Mars from here will be giving an aspect to your ninth house. So this is the place where you will give an aspect to Rahu, who's placed in your sign of Aquarius, and there is going to be a magnification of night. I see that many of you might be making certain travel plans as well. You could be traveling into new locations, faraway places. You could be very aggressive as well, thanks to protective eighth aspect of Mars coming in towards your Lagna. But this aspect of Mars is going to amplify ninth house things. Be courteous, clever, sharp, poised with your bosses, with your seniors, elders, gurus, mentors in your life, because that could be dampening if you are not taking care of that particular bit. We've already talked about Rahu. I would want to touch upon Saturn's aspect to a certain extent. Now, Saturn is sitting in the retrograded motion in your 10th. From a career, work, profession perspective, things haven't been easy. He brings both positive and negative connotations. Thanks to being in the 8th, there would have been certain sudden unexpected challenges that could have come in your profession, in your business, in your overall life. Even if you are a homemaker, you could have struggled with respect to your relationship with public connects for that matter. So no matter what walk of life you would be coming from, Saturn would have given certain turbulences during this phase. But at the same time, being the ninth lord into the 10th and retrograded and being so powerful, he's going to be coming into a stationary movement by the last week of October or first part of November, actually, because from 27th is when he becomes direct. So, and he's already changed his nakshatra, as well as I called out in the earlier important date segment. So you have to remember here that Saturn is expecting you to remain principled, motivated, aligned with your superiors, bosses, gurus, with your spirituality, and then keep working. Outcomes are going to come, and I'm going to continuously repeat that. Many of you have sent me, messages, dropped your comments. I completely understand, Gemini, that what you're going through. The market, in fact, from an economy perspective, is also not at its best in its most beautiful situations, but still, you will see that there will be reward by the time this retrogression is coming to an end. So be much more hopeful for November month, but I will still say that October will pan out positivity. Saturn is giving a retrograded aspect to the 12th as well. He is going to curb some of your expenses, and the gains that you will be coming will be limited, but they will continue to percolate. He is giving a retrograded aspect towards your fourth house, disruptions in terms of your peace, and then debilitation of Venus, where he is giving an aspect and presence of Sun as well. So that is going to remain there, but be consistent. You are going to overcome that. You are going to do better, especially from the second half of the month. And then retrograded aspect towards your business house, relationship, partnership house. Good part is Jupiter is giving an aspect from the Lagna. He's placed in your first house if you're watching from a moon sign perspective in your Rashi sign. So there is a blessing of Jupiter on your family, on yourself, on your kids, in your romantic life, in your relationships, as well as in your ninth house. But the biggest transit of of the year in the Atichari movement, where it was least expected, will come from Jupiter's exaltation into your second house, which happens in the second half of the month around 18th of October. Now, this is crucial because from there he's giving an aspect to your 6th, 8th, and 10th. And that is why I will repeat, people who've been looking for new work opportunities, new job opportunities, expansion of your savings, wealth, some benevolent activities happening in your family as well, expansion of your family, any auspicious events happening, any auspicious ceremonies happening at your home. All of those things could get materialized with this presence of Jupiter. He holds crucial portfolio. Remember, he owns your seventh and your 10th house. So, him getting exalted in the second is a positive sign again coming in for you folks in the month of October. So, guys, it is a big evolution coming in from the month of September moving into October. There are going to be new initiatives, new areas where you are going to transform, challenge yourself in your relationships, in your business, in your career, in your profession, towards your family, towards your job areas. If you're looking for a switch, I see a lot of positivity, a lot of good things happening. Just do not drop the ball when you feel that the results are not panning out within a week, within 2 weeks of time, because it will slowly percolate out for you thanks to the retrogression of Saturn in your 10th house. Well, I hope this guys make this thought process makes sense, and you've liked the effort that I've put in this place. If you have, then please smash on that like button, subscribe to Dev Astrology, and keep watching. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Mahadev.